Okay, so we had a very busy week with two major announcements from OpenAI and from Google. And let's go into details. So first about OpenAI. It was on Monday, and they introduced a new model called GPT-4o. And this is an amazing model. It quickly climbed to the top position on the leaderboard. So it's a new AI model with improved capabilities in text, video, and audio. Although audio was not released yet, it is faster and more powerful than previous versions, offering enhanced performance and features. Yeah, the presentations were absolutely hilarious. It was talking, it was understanding emotions, and it was mimicking emotions very convincingly. Had sense of humor, whatever. It's amazing model. So they released the desktop version of ChatGPT. I already received a notification to install it on my desktop because I'm a paid customer. So it's a dedicated desktop application for ChatGPT, providing streamlined and user-friendly experience for interacting with AI chatbot. Now, GPT-4 is now available for all users. So before, the free version was 3.5, but now it's GPT-4, so available for everybody. And enhanced user interface, updated user interface for ChatGPT, focusing on improved usability, accessibility. So this is actually from my screen. So I'm a ChatGPT Plus customer, right? So I'm paying $20 a month, and you can see GPT-4o, GPT-4, and GPT 3.5. So you can select either one. Okay, pricing. So GPT-4. So this is per million tokens, in and out. So GPT-4 is $10 for input and $30 for output per million tokens, right? GPT-4o, you can see it's half the price, and it's also faster. So yeah, we'll be doing more testing, but so far it's like really seems a good model to go. Note, Google Gemini 1.5 Flash is about 10 times cheaper. So the input is one-third of a dollar instead of $5, and the output half the dollar instead of $15. So yeah, Google is much cheaper, but it looks like the quality is not as good as OpenAI. On the other side, Google model has 1 million or even 2 million context length. So you can, and it's also multimodal. So you can give it 1 hour video and ask to review it and give you a summary, whatever. So voice features are not released yet. Flirtatious and engaging voice style. Yeah, I highly recommend just find the presentations and watch them. It's very entertaining. Okay, Google. Google has announced a lot of stuff. So it was Google I/O, and usually it was about programming and applications and whatever, but this, it was all about AI. So first of all, Gemini models. They updated their models, and here's at the bottom. So we have Gemini 1 Pro with 33 kilo tokens. We have Gemini 1.5 Pro with 1 million tokens. And we have Gemini 1.5 Flash, also 1 million tokens. And it's specifically designed for high throughput. It is light, it is fast, and it's cheap. So I haven't tested it yet, but it's very interesting. So this is a description of the model. What is 1500 requests per day for free. If more, you have to pay, but the flash pricing is very low, as I already told. So these are a couple of pictures. Okay, so there are Gemini models. Gemini Advanced subscription now includes the latest model. I am also advanced a customer of Gemini, so that means that like I can go to Gemini. Here's Gemini Advanced, and this will be running the new model. Gemini now integrated in the Chrome browser. Wow. Imagen 3, image generation model available at Imagen FX. So this is this website, and you can sign in and use it. Okay, similar, we have video, like it's called Viewer, creating short, high resolution, high definition videos from text, and AI scam protection in Android using Gemini Nano, Firebase GenKit. Firebase, if you're not programmer, you probably don't know what it is, but it's a very good package to create web applications. It has multiple features, like for example, if you want, I don't know, authentication with secondary device, what's called the dual authentication, whatever, it's all coming, and many of these features are free. So now they have also AI. They also added PostgreSQL database, which is like what's separate. Okay, Gemini and Android Studio, right? So Gemini is now part of their phone development environment. Astra, so it's a news assistant, universal agent that can see and hear what you do live in real time and take action on your behalf. So you can ask it about what it sees around you and what you see on the screen. It's quite amazing. So I recommend to watch presentations about Astra. Google Search AI overviews. Well, we already had search generated experience SGE for some time, but now they're upgrading it and it's called AI overviews. But well, it's the same thing. You're doing the search, and on the top you see the short summary. Okay, so the prices, I already gave you the prices. Next is the Crowdsource Arena Leaderboard. This is from yesterday. You see it's May 16th, and on the top you see GPT-4o. Oh, by the way, this is only for English queries. So it's on the top. Then we see GPT-4, GPT-4, Gemini, GPT-4 again, Llama 370. So this is the top open source model. And then, by the way, Llama 3.8b, which is a small model, is right here, so not far away. And so it goes. And this is Mixtral 8.22b and Mixtral 8.7b. So you see there are places like approximately 20 something. Okay, so GPT-4o is on the top. I really like this Twitter post, Maxime Lebon, and he created those graphs. So he used this leaderboard, the Arena leaderboard, but presented graphically. So first of all, you see modal here versus overall score, and you see GPT-4o is on the first place. And this other graph is very interesting. So we have time horizontally coming from May 2023, which is a year ago, to May 2024, which is now. So you see on the top, you see GPT-4, GPT-4, GPT-4o, and then there are other models, like here, for example, GPT 3.5 Turbo. Here is Gemini 1.5 Pro, which is Google, right? Here is Llama 370B Instruct. And there are many other models. You can follow these links, these tweets, and see the text and explanation. But if you want the best model, it looks like your best bet is to use GPT-4o or GPT-4. Okay. AnthropicAI prompt generator. So Anthropic offers a tool which generates prompts for you, and it can do it automatically. So this is a very useful tool. How to beat Conch AI Detector? Well, I spoke about it before. There are services and software which detects if the text was generated by AI. And there are also ways to go stealth and become undetectable. So this is an article which explains how to do it. WebLlama, browse the web by following instructions and talking to you. So you talk to the system and it browses and finds things that you ask it to find. John Wiley Sons, yeah, this is a strategy because this is a very old company, more than 200 years. It's a publishing company, and they're now closing 19 journals. And they do it because they had to retract more than 11,000 papers that appeared compromised because of generative AI. So there is a lot of fake news, fake science. It became a real problem. Okay, percentage of undetected responses. StealthGPT, undetectable AI. Oh, this is for like how to beat their detection. Okay, who is not muted? Tom, I'll mute you. Okay. Next, let's go next. Apple and OpenAI. So they made a deal, and now OpenAI will be on Apple devices, including Macs, including phones, including Siri. If you have paid program, then Siri will be used your advanced subscription. So this is, I guess, great news for Mac users, and I'm a Mac user. Stability AI, famous company from England, was developing stable diffusion, and yeah, they're facing financial problems, and they're looking to sell the company. And the sale most probably will mean if people want to acquire, well, they're AI specialists, because this is the main, like, most valuable asset of the company. Another piece of news is about Ilya Sutskever. So he's here, and he's here in the middle. So he now officially left OpenAI. So Ilya Sutskever was a co-founder, and he was a chief scientist. He helped lead a coup against Sam Altman last fall. Then he changed his mind, and he was staying with the company, and he was silent, and people were asking, well, where is Ilya? What's happening with Ilya? And now he officially left the company. And Jakub Paczkowski, he will be now the OpenAI new chief scientist. He's a director of research. He is here on this picture, and this is him. So this is Greg Brockman, this is Ilya Sutskever, Sam Altman, and Mira Murati. So this is a picture. Now, also left Jean Lake. He resigned. He was a co-lead of Sutskever's super alignment group. The news follows months of departures, largely coming from OpenAI super alignment and safety teams. So Ilya was leading this project about super alignment, and many people already left, and now finally he has left as well. Okay. When LLM is bigger than memory. Okay, this is a really stupid test, but I just wanted to see what will happen. So I have a personal MacBook, which is 2 years old. So it's a MacBook Pro, Apple Silicon with M1 chip and 32 gigabytes of memory. And I tried to run a model which is 40 gigabytes. So it's more than memory, right? What it is Llama 3, 70 billion parameters, and it's quantized down to 4-bit. So that's why it's so small, right? On my bigger computer, which is M3 and it has 128 gigabyte, this model fits in memory completely, and it runs with a speed about 8.5 tokens per second. So it's kind of slow, but it's reasonable. You can use it. On this computer, I asked for the list of presidents. So I asked to make a list of last 10 presidents. So this is the output. And look at the statistics. Total duration to answer this question was 1 hour, 21 minutes. So it's absolutely, so what's happening to generate every token, it has to reload something like, I don't know, 15 gigabytes in from disk to memory and back, and this computer has very fast SSD. I mean, Macs are known to be like very fast. Still, you see, it takes a lot of time. So if you want to run the model, you better have enough memory and to completely fit the model. Another, which model to use for an agent. I recently tried to make a system with agents, with multiple agents, And I've learned something which probably experienced people knew before. So let me explain. So an agent has an internal loop, and it can iterate, adjusting the approach. So for example, if you ask agent to find something on the internet, it can try to find it, and then it may change the keywords, try to find again. It may like do several iterations, and then eventually it will decide to maybe pass execution to another agent, to a supervisor, whatever. So inside the agent, you have some sort of a loop. So you see action, reasoning, thought, back to action. You can go several times, and then you like a final answer. Uh, so agent can send messages internally between those pieces of the agent using large language model and functions tools. Like for example, searching the internet is a tool. It's a function. You can also create multi-agent solutions where agents send messages to each other, and they can also go into loops. The model in agent has to be good, and it should be good at function calling. You should not use GPT 3.5 Turbo or Mistral 7B or Llama 3 8B or any of the small models, because they are not really good at function calling. Because if you do, the agents may be making errors and getting into never resolving loops. Remember how a year ago we would ask ChatGPT, like a year ago, to write code. It would give you a piece of code, you will try to run it, it would crash. You ask the model to fix it, it will fix it. You try again, it will crash again, and over again. And the model just couldn't figure out like how to fix the problem. So imagine that you have the same thing happening inside the agent. So it gets into the loop and it cannot like resolve it. Modern models, better models like GPT-4, they are much better at finding solution from the first attempt, or maybe after several attempts, they can figure things out, right? So today we have much better models. You should try to use the best LLM you can afford. Do not use GPT-3.5, use GPT-4, GPT-4o, especially with LangChain. LangChain framework started in October 2022. This is about where ChatGPT was released. And as OpenAI models were growing, LangChain was growing, and it is built on like using OpenAI models. Internally, when the messages are sent inside the uh, agent or between the agents in multi-agent system, so you need to use prompts, right? Because basically the thinking is done by a large language model. And if you change the model, the prompts which are sitting inside the agent may not work effectively. So I can give you an example. I recently was trying different models with Llama. And again, I asked to make a list of 10 presidents. And this was a model, this was a fine-tuned version of Llama 3 with increased context length, because default model has 8 kilotokens and I wanted 32 kilotokens. So I used the fine-tuned version. I asked to make me a list, or I asked why the sky is blue, and it started talking and talking and talking. So several screens of text. So I had to kill it with Control C, and then I changed the prompt. I asked it to give me a response in like one paragraph, and then it gave me short response and stopped. Right. So from this example, you see that different models may require different prompts. But if you already have prompts which are built in the agent, right, and you don't know what they are, and they are debugged to make them work with one model, and they will not work with another model. I tried different frameworks. For example, I tried Crowdsource, which many people like, and it has nice syntax. It's a nice thing, but it was getting into this infinite loops, and it was not able to get to the answer. Partially because maybe it's not good fit for the model, partially because I was using like GPT 3.5, which you should not use, right? Uh, so Llama Index is coming from Meta Facebook, Crewai, Autogen from Microsoft. Anyway, so here are the two pictures. So you're using some sort of crew, like multiple agents. So you may have crew of dogs, or you may have crew of humans. And yeah, like dogs can execute some simple tasks, but they will be really confused if, for example, you ask them to do some research or to summarize scientific article, right? So these agents simply will not be able to work on that. So you have to use smart models. It's that simple. Okay, about function calling. On Berkeley, there is a project called Gorilla, which is for API calling, for function calling, and they maintain leaderboard of different models and for function calling. And you see on the top, you have again GPT-4. Claude 3, GPT-4, GPT-4, Gorilla, they have their own model. You see GPT-4, Llama 70B. Okay, so these are the top entries. Okay, another topic today is about coding assistance. We spoke about multiple like automatic ways to assist you in code writing, and there are systems like Devin, for example, that promise that they can write code and submit it to GitHub and do like testing and do everything. But in reality, what do you do? So there are multiple coding assistants. A very famous one is Tab9, and it can use both local or remote LLMs. Codium, which is formerly Cody, was reviewed by many people, again, very famous, very good, and it can use both local or remote LLMs. So for example, if you have Ollama and you want to run Llama 3, 8 billion parameters, you can use it with it. And yeah, and you can use it from Visual Studio Code. In fact, here, Cody, you see? Codium. This, by the way, this picture is from my VS Studio, yes, editor, and I just entered AI, and it shows me different extensions which I can install and use. So Codium, GitHub Copilot, then Sneak Code. This is for scanning your code for security, and Cursor. Cursor, it's an interesting option. I only starting using it, and I want to thank Jose for recommending it. So they have a free option, they have paid options, enterprise options. It's basically a fork of Visual Studio Code, and when you start first time, you have to create login, and then it takes everything from your existing Visual Studio installation and so when you enter the editor, you see all your extensions, you see all your custom settings. It's very easy to start using it, and it is AI first editor, so it is helpful. And yeah, and it's using OpenAI models, which means GPT 3.5 or GPT-4. So if you're using GPT-4, you'll be paying money, but it's a good editor. Finally, tech layoffs. So these are current updates. So you see that the layoffs now is much less than they were a year ago. Okay, this is me as usual. Thank you. The end.